Start with some basic chess openings. Um, he brings out his horse, defender's pawn. I just take the pawn because I don't even know what my thinking was behind it. He brings out another pawn. I'm thinking it's a free pawn or opening. I'm unaware of it. So I just take it again. He takes with the queen. I bring out a pawn thinking that his queen is going to take this pawn because it's undefended, not realize that the king actually defends it. So he ends up bringing his bishop out. I end up defending with my bishop. He ends up taking the free pawn, which I did not see. And I could have defended this by moving this pawn here, but he takes the pawn. My rook is trapped, so I'm thinking, hey, let me take with the bishop. So his queen is more tempted to take the bishop, which I do, but he doesn't take the bishop. He takes the rook instead. And I didn't realize that the horse is under, the horse can also take the bishop. Then I realized his queen is trapped, so I just take I move my bishop back, but my queen defends the horse, and it also defends his pawn, whereas the pawn over here is undefended, so he just takes that. Then I realized I could do what he did and take the pawn here as his rook would be trapped, so which is what I do, and he ends up defending his queen with the horse, which I was a bit confused about. I don't understand why he's done that, but I just take his rook. He ends up freeing the pawn, moving the pawn to free the bishop and cause more pressure. I'm assuming he's trying to take this pawn to win material, but here I end up moving my horse, putting pressure on the queen so that he has to move it, and he ends up moving it behind the horse. I end up moving the pawn to free my bishop, and then I realize I didn't see this at the time, but I think what he was trying to do is move his horse here. So let's just go back. So he was trying to move his horse here. I would be check, and I can't move here because of the horse, and his queen would have had direct line of sight on my king, and it would have been checkmate. But I move the pawn, freeing it up. He ends up bringing his bishop out, and I move my bishop, causing check as it's defended by the horse, hoping he might take the bishop with the queen, so that I could take back with the horse. But he doesn't. He just moves his pawn out. Then I see that I can take his pawn here, which is what I do, hoping that if he takes my bishop with his pawn, I'll just take his bishop and he'll be checked. So, which is what happens. And look at the time. So he moves his king, and it takes me 30 seconds, well, nearly 30 seconds, to realize his horse is free and I can just take it, which is what I do. And then his king's check once again, and he has to move it. And then his rook is free, and it takes me nearly a minute just to realize I could take his rook. He ends up going for a back rank check. I end up just moving my king, realizing that he's going to take my horse most likely, which is what he does. And I end up taking this pawn, causing check. Which I didn't see is that my bishop can take his queen. And I didn't see this until he moves his king. And then I realized I was about to move my queen here. And then I realized that his horse is defending that square. So I'm unable to do that. And then I realized, wait, I've got this bishop in the corner that I hadn't seen this whole time, allowing me to just take his queen. And then he takes the free pawn, and I go to that position as the horse no longer defended the square, and I cause check. He moves his king and resigns.